Ninja says parents should parent their kids, saying that it's not his job to teach kids about racism and white privilege. I mean, he's fucking right. Like, what? You think he's wrong? Like, you really want a blue-haired Valorant Andy over here to teach children about white supremacy? Ninja's at least an open-minded dude, right? Overall, he's good at that sort of shit. But that doesn't mean like 30 other blue-haired Valorant Andys are going to be good at that shit just like he is. I would much rather have that up to, you know, our institutions and parents to do that appropriately than like assume that, you know, Twitch streamers are all going to be good at it. Porn stars are not expected to educate people on sexual education. Ninja was asked several questions about the publication about a number of things in his life, from plans to transition to voice acting. There was comments a few years ago about not playing games with women. But it all comes down to parenting. Ninja said, do you want to know who your kid is? Listen to him when he's playing video games when he thinks you're not. Here's another thing. How does a white kid know he has white privilege if his parents never teach him or don't talk about racism? That's right. That's literally right. Ninja went on to say it's not his job to teach kids about culture or topics related to race because his first instinct is to assume he's being trolled in the chat. He's literally right. If they're gaming, the first interaction with racism is one of their friends saying the N-word and they have no idea what it is. What if it was on my stream? Ninja asked. Is it my job to have this conversation with this kid? No, because the first thing that's going on in my head is this kid's doing this on purpose to troll me. If someone says a racial slur on someone else's stream, it can potentially get that streamer banned. It's awful, but that's the first thing I think of. There's no way people are offended by this. Or maybe people are offended by it because they just didn't understand what he was trying to say. At the same time, however, Ninja noted that the internet's illusion of anonymity doesn't embolden people to say what they want. Ninja still thinks their parents should get involved. I don't think it's gaming. I think it's internet culture. People are behind the screen. They say what they want and can get away with it. You have complete anonymity. Your information and data are precious and should remain private, but it sucks that there are kids who could just say racist things and be incredibly aggressive and threatening to women online and have zero repercussions. It would be awesome if when someone said something threatening, you could be like, let me look up this dude's gamer tag on this website. If the law could do this, not a normal person, then boom, it's Jimmy. He said this. Let's call his parents. People are saying because he has a platform that he has his responsibility. Slippery slope. I would want everyone to be like Ninja Overall. And I think Ninja Overall does fucking talk about that sort of stuff every now and then. Okay? I would want every Twitch streamer to do that. But I don't expect every Twitch streamer to do that. And I don't think that that's how we fucking fix society. Okay? I'm not delusional. I don't think that, like, society gets solved by Twitch streamers educating children slowly but surely on you know, the problems of white supremacy. I mean, I'm one of those people, but that's literally all I do. But there's so much other precursory information that I had to take on so that I could and accumulate personal experience so that I could get to the point that I can get to where I could talk about these sorts of things credibly in a way that can educate people in a palatable manner. Most random, like, non-politics Andes that are playing Valorant or Fortnite or whatever the fuck are not going to be able to do that. They're not going to be able to handle that. And I would rather have them not fucking involve themselves in these, like, super complicated things in a way that maybe is more damaging than not. Ninja only has a responsibility to educate if we give up on our education system, as conservatives do. I think it's crazy to assume that streamers have the responsibility to educate people. What streamers should always recognize is the responsibility they have to ensure best practices. Like, if you're a fucking edgelord piece of shit and you're not teaching, but like you're being a racist asshole, then fuck you. You're a piece of shit. You might get banned, and I don't even fucking feel bad about it. But like, to take the extra step and be like, well, here is how systemic racism works. Like, no, they're not going to be able to fucking do that. And 90% of the time, if they even tried to do that, they're not going to come across like fucking Dr. Lupo, which is a great example of someone who has done a good job with this. But instead, they're going to come across like a dumbass and maybe even fuck themselves over. They're going to hurt themselves in confusion. Okay? So there's a difference between best practices and like what streamers should do, which is the bare minimum, which is don't be a fucking asshole and don't be fucking racist, and literally teaching them about, you know, white supremacy and systemic racism. Ninja has a responsibility like anyone else to just not be a piece of shit. Yeah, exactly. And if they take it further, if they take it one step further than that, then that's great. But not everyone can do that, and not everyone can do that well. Okay? How do you feel about the idea that you should strive to be anti-racist, not just non-racist? No, I agree with that. But I think streamers, when they're not being racist, are already doing enough anti-racism. And some people might not be able to take on the task of describing complicated things that they personally are not great at. By the way, I'm not even saying this about Ninja. I think Ninja, especially when it comes to like Black Lives Matter and shit, is pretty good overall. Like, but I don't expect kids to learn from Ninja about fucking white supremacy and privilege. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's wrong for saying that.